There's a quiet in Shohei Ohtani's Los Angeles home that few can imagine. Step inside, and the energy feels almost sacred, like every corner holds the whispers of dreams, discipline, and decades of relentless focus. You wouldn't guess it by looking at the modest furnishings, the soft hum of daily life, or the faint scent of fresh coffee in the air. This is the home of a superstar, but not the kind who shouts their greatness from the rooftops. No, Ohtani's greatness is quieter, deliberate, almost hidden, yet it echoes louder than any stadium roar. The first thing you notice is the way light cuts through the room. Sunlight slants across polished hardwood floors, touching a baseball bat leaning casually against a wall, a reminder of the battles fought in stadiums that feel a universe away. Every bat, every glove, every ball tells a story, not of trophies or headlines, but of sacrifice. The humility in this space is palpable. It's a stark contrast to the chaos of sports media, to the millions of eyes watching his every move. Here, he's just a man preparing for the next challenge, quietly wrestling with the pursuit of perfection. The kitchen is simple, unpretentious, almost clinical in its efficiency. Ingredients lined up neatly, proteins, vegetables, fruits, a silent testament to the discipline that fuels a body capable of both pitching at 100 miles per hour and smashing home runs with devastating power. There are no flashy gadgets, no ostentatious appliances. Every item has a purpose, every choice calculated to maintain the edge that makes him one of the most unique athletes in the history of baseball. Watching him prepare a meal is like watching a ritual, careful, precise, almost meditative. His living room holds another kind of story. A few framed jerseys, some signed balls, photographs capturing moments that most of us only see through fleeting media clips. And yet, there's no sense of arrogance here. The focus isn't on what he's achieved but on what's still ahead. A baseball lying on the coffee table, scuffed and worn, seems almost symbolic, a reminder that even the greatest are grounded by their beginnings, by the fundamentals that shaped them. The office space feels like a lab of potential. Here, charts, statistics, and game tapes sit side by side with a calendar filled with training schedules, therapy sessions, and moments of reflection. You get the sense that Ohtani's mind is constantly working, not on fame, not on money, but on evolution. Every pitch, every swing is analyzed in microscopic detail. There's an obsession here, yes, but not for the spotlight. For mastery. For legacy. And then there's his bedroom, a sanctuary few have glimpsed. The bed is unassuming, the decor simple. No gilded frames, no extravagant designs, only a space that seems to embrace rest as fiercely as it embraces effort. It's a reminder that even someone capable of feats that defy imagination needs pause, quiet, and the stillness that allows greatness to grow. A small, open window lets in the LA breeze, carrying the scent of the city and the distant cheers of fans unaware of the battles waged here. Shohei's gym is perhaps the most telling room of all. State of the art, yes, but it's the discipline that commands attention. Each machine, each weight, each carefully calculated drill is evidence of an athlete's devotion to perfection. But it's not vanity. It's survival, survival in a league where the difference between legend and footnote is measured in inches, in milliseconds, in tiny improvements that add up to monumental outcomes. Watching him train feels almost spiritual, as if every motion, every repetition, is a prayer whispered to the future. Family photographs line a wall near the staircase. Smiles captured and moments of laughter, vacations. That are rare escapes from the relentless grind. You realize that for someone who lives under the constant glare of global attention, these personal connections are sacred. They are reminders that Ohtani's heart beats not just for baseball, but for life, for the people who anchor him amid chaos, who remind him why the sacrifices matter. Shohei moves through the home with deliberate calm. There's a rhythm to his steps, a quiet confidence that doesn't need validation. He stops occasionally, touches an old ball glove, or gazes at a bat, almost as if consulting the ghosts of his younger self. These are the echoes of endless hours in batting cages, in stadiums under blinding lights, and in quiet fields where nobody cheered but him. Even his media room tells a story. Screens line one wall, showing game footage, practice sessions, and occasionally, interviews he rarely gives. It's a command center for reflection. Here, Ohtani reviews mistakes with the same intensity he celebrates victories. Each error is a lesson, each hit a testament to preparation and instinct. The room is dark, quiet, punctuated by the soft clicks of a remote or the hum of a projector. In these moments, he's both student and master, always learning, always striving. Shohei's love for music is subtle, almost understated. A few instruments sit in a corner, never flaunted, only played in the rare moments of solitude. Here, he decompresses, letting melodies wash over him in the same way a pitcher lets go of a ball, with intention, with feeling. Music, like baseball, becomes a bridge between focus and freedom, structure and spontaneity. And yet, there's humor here, too. A playful nod to the lighter side of life, a joke scribbled on a sticky note, a toy left from a visit to friends' children, a small reminder that even legends need laughter. These tiny traces of humanity are striking. They remind us that behind the astonishing talent, behind the historic achievements, is a person navigating life as we all do, just on a grander stage. Even his collection of shoes is telling. Not designer sneakers, not ostentatious displays, but functional, organized pairs for training, games, travel. Each tells a story of purpose, endurance, and readiness. Nothing is accidental. Everything is intentional. It's a life designed for one goal, to remain at the peak of performance in a sport that allows almost no margin for error. The outdoor space is deceptively calm. A small patio, modest greenery, a quiet place where Ohtani can reflect. You can imagine him standing here in the early morning, bat in hand, thinking not of headlines but of the next game, the next pitch, the next swing. Here, the city fades, the crowds vanish, and only the discipline remains. Shohei's humility is striking. Despite the fame, the accolades, the headlines proclaiming him as a once-in-a-generation talent, he walks through his home as if it's just another place to prepare, to live, to reflect. There's no ostentation, no desire to impress. The grandeur is not in the home itself but in the invisible architecture of effort and dedication that permeates every corner. Even his small library reveals layers of character. Books on strategy, sports psychology, biographies of athletes who came before him, texts on human performance, a mosaic of wisdom collected to fuel growth. Here, Ohtani isn't just an athlete. He's a thinker, a learner, a man wrestling with his own potential. At night, the home transforms. Shadows stretch across walls, moonlight touches familiar objects, and there's a sense of stillness almost sacred. In these quiet hours, the world outside ceases to matter. There's only the preparation, the reflection, the relentless pursuit of excellence that has defined him from the very beginning. Shohei's humility and focus extend even to his diet. Simple meals, balanced and intentional, designed to fuel both mind and body. There's no indulgence, no over-the-top luxury, just a precise understanding of what keeps him at the apex of performance. Every bite is an investment in tomorrow's success. And yet, his home is not without warmth. Family photos, small trinkets from fans, gifts from teammates, these details remind us that while Ohtani's life is extraordinary, it's deeply human. There's love, connection, laughter, and memory stitched into every corner. Every corner of this home whispers discipline, but also gratitude. Gratitude for the journey, for the people who supported him, for the struggles that shaped him. Even trophies and awards are tucked away, quiet testaments rather than loud declarations. They exist not to boast, but to honor the journey. Shohei's attention to detail is everywhere. Even the smallest objects, a pen, a notebook, a piece of equipment, are chosen with care. Nothing is arbitrary. Every choice, every object, reflects the mindset of a man who approaches every aspect of life with purpose. And yet, for all this planning and precision, there is still room for spontaneity. A sudden game of catch with a friend in the backyard, a smile at a personal victory, the quiet joy of a meal shared with those closest to him. These moments remind us that even the most disciplined lives contain pockets of freedom and delight. Shohei's humility shines in the way he treats visitors. There's no pretense, no grand tour designed to impress. Just genuine openness, a quiet confidence, and an understated pride in what he has built. Not the fame, not the wealth, but a life structured around purpose, passion, and excellence. Every morning begins with ritual. Stretching, meditation, review of the day's plan, preparation for workouts, practice, and games. The discipline is relentless, but there's a rhythm to it, a flow that has allowed him to balance the impossible, being both pitcher and hitter at the highest level. Even the laundry room tells a story. Uniforms meticulously cared for, training gear organized to the smallest detail. There's reverence here, a reminder that even the smallest tasks matter when the stakes are so high. Excellence is in the details, in the care, in the preparation. Shohei's home gym is where genius meets sweat. Every drill, every repetition, is calculated. Every pitch simulated, every swing measured. There's an almost scientific precision, yet infused with artistry, a combination that has allowed him to redefine what's possible in baseball. Even his refrigerator reveals a philosophy. Balanced, precise, practical. Nothing extravagant. Every choice fuels performance, not ego. It's a reminder that greatness is often built not in grand gestures but in the small, disciplined acts repeated daily. Shohei's meditation space is quiet, almost invisible, tucked in a corner of the home. A small cushion, a low table, a few objects that hold meaning. Here, the mind is trained as rigorously as the body. Focus, calm, clarity, essential tools for someone navigating the pressures of history and expectation. Shohei's home reflects his duality, intensity and serenity, discipline and humility, legend and human. It's a sanctuary that nurtures greatness while keeping him grounded, a place where history is made not through spectacle, but through focus and heart. Even his car keys, sports equipment, and personal items are carefully organized. Nothing is left to chance. This isn't obsession, it's mastery. Every choice reinforces the mindset that has made him the most unique athlete in decades. Shohei's quiet moments reveal the heart behind the hero. Reading a book, strumming a guitar, laughing with friends, gazing out at the city below, these fragments of ordinary life create the extraordinary story of a life lived with intention. And yet, there's tension in the calm. The pressure of the next game, the weight of expectation, the whispers of history hovering in the corners of his mind. But in this home, tension is met with preparation, with reflection, with relentless focus. Shohei's home is a temple of paradox, modest yet extraordinary, quiet yet brimming with potential, simple yet precise. It mirrors the man himself, a humbling presence in a world that expects spectacle. Every object, every room, every corner tells the same story: preparation is everything. Focus is everything. Humility is everything. And greatness. Greatness is a byproduct of living this truth, day in and day out. As night falls, the lights dim, and the city outside buzzes with life, Shohei's home remains a bastion of calm, of intention, of relentless pursuit. It's a place where history is written quietly, not in headlines, but in the silent, deliberate choices of a life dedicated to excellence. And when the world sleeps, Shohei dreams, not of fame, not of accolades, but of the next challenge, the next pitch, the next swing. A man who has redefined what is possible, yet remains anchored in humility, in preparation, in love for the game. Stepping outside, the LA skyline stretches endlessly, but inside, every inch of this home tells a story of focus, heart, and unmatched dedication. Shohei Ohtani is more than a legend. He is a living testament that greatness is crafted in quiet spaces, in disciplined routines, and in a heart that never forgets where it came from. By the time the sun rises again, the world will cheer at the feats, the home runs, the blazing pitches. But inside his home, the story is different. It's about devotion, restraint, reflection, and the kind of humility that transforms talent into timeless greatness. And in that quiet, sacred space, Shohei Ohtani reminds us all: true legends aren't defined by applause, but by the relentless pursuit of mastery, the courage to remain humble, and the unwavering belief that every day is another chance to reach higher than ever before.